As 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗱 said, I am Dr. Shankar. I live in US, my heart and soul live in Bharat. So even though I live in America, my heart and soul lives in Bharat, our motherland. Who made this movie, the 6 leading actors and the director, they could not come because everyone is working. Director Devras is still working, that's why he could not come today. I came alone because they had to work to see all of you and have a chat and about some of the interesting facts about the movie, why we made this movie, what is that censor worried about in the movie, and then we also can ask the same question to censor board or in general tell you the opinion once we finish talking. So your question was, how did the thought come into make this movie?
Yeah.
Since I live in America, I see the world from outside perspective. For our Bharat, the border countries, Pakistan used to be a big enemy. Now, they have their own problems. So they cannot really harm us a lot, even though they come like, backstabbing once in a while, comes like a Mumbai, 𝗙់οντας 𝗪𝗪 throw some bombs, but they cannot really match to us. But the biggest enemy is China, to India. Either some of the politicians from left side, Communist Party, they agree or not, that's the fact. From 2020, the thought came in, someone has to say something about China, how evil they are. Number one reason, from 1950s, China as a border country tried to invade us multiple times. With the same idea, they got control of Tibet, and then they tried to get slowly into Arunachal Pradesh. You all probably know 13 places in Arunachal Pradesh have been renamed by China, and they tried to change the map. Our map, they want to change it. In the same attempt, 𝗂𝗽𝗱 Valley, where the border lies, and there is a 𝗂𝗽 River, most of it belonged to us. It belonged to India. So they were building infrastructure, roads and buildings on the other side of the China, so that they can deploy, they can have military right there. So in that attempt, some of our soldiers were checking on, and they came and killed about 20 of our soldiers. 2020, remember, in June. And then around the same time, we have the COVID going on, right? So that's the time, as a citizen of India, as a Bharat citizen, I felt strongly obligated to our motherland to bring those facts in a form of movie. If you write a book, you cannot make a lot of people read it. But if you make a movie, a lot of people can see it and they get the message in a very strong way, very impactful way. So that's when we decided to make a movie after 𝗂𝗪 Valley incident. Keeping in mind how evil China has been towards India for the last several decades, right? So in the beginning, we thought naming the movie as 𝗂𝗪 Valley. We actually registered the name 𝗂𝗪 Valley in our banner to name the movie as 𝗂𝗪 Valley. But as the movie changed into almost like a wholesome story with all the elements in it, then we thought the most appropriate name would be Bharateeyans. That means common citizens like you and me, all of you, take up the responsibility and what do we do in a situation like that. So that's how Bharateeyans movie came.
Well, seeing your experience as a doctor to producer,
it's an interesting, tremendous journey. A surgeon means I'm a surgeon by profession, but philosophically, I want good to survive. A good, that means the truth and the goodness in the planet to triumph. So that's part of my responsibility, which I owe to our motherland.
सर गलवान घाटी के बेस पे ही ये फिल्म बनी है और इसमें कितने गाने बताए थे आपने? कुछ गानों को सेंसर बोर्ड ने कट कर दिया है।
Sorry, Ji.
Some of the songs censor board cuts.
और गलवान घाटी के बेस पे ही ये
Yeah.
फिल्म बनाई गई है।
The theme of the film is based on
Yeah, theme of the movie was inspired by 𝗙𝗏𝗏 itself, but it tells a story about the intent of China, the intentions of China, how in different forms try to harm India. How do they do it? By biological terror, like the COVID, how they create it, invading into our borders, having the sleeping agents in a border, like even in our country, they have their own agents. So in so many ways, they have been threat to us. We have to recognize it and bring it out.
You have taken the report from the government in India, or it is a fiction story?
So the inspiration is from the incident, 𝗙𝗏𝗏 incident. The story how we created is fictional. The story how it evolved is fictional, based on the 6 characters of common people.
Sir, does it make impact on between the relationship of India and China, the movie?
Yeah, you know, what is the relationship of China to India? Frankly speaking,
There is some sort of a conflict as well.
conflict.
And,
And who is in more conflict? Who is more aggressive? Is India ever attacked China? No.
no, never.
Did we go and kill the soldiers? No. Did we take their land? No. Did we take their city and put our name there? No, right? Did we create COVID and send it over there? No. And then did we say part of China doesn't belong to China, we don't recognize, we wouldn't go out of meeting? Did we say that? No. But what did they do? A few weeks ago, when G20 summit happened in Kashmir, what did they say? They said, Kashmir is a disputed area, therefore we are boycotting. So that means they were openly supporting Pakistan. Did we do that so far? No. And then very recently, in the United Council, when this LTT 𝗙ص terrorist, who was responsible for 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, America and India together brought a resolution to declare him openly through the UN to make him a global terrorist, or name him a global terrorist. You know that China is a permanent member of United Nations Council, right? So even one of the 5 blocks any resolution, it cannot pass. So what did they do? They blocked the resolution. That means they were openly supporting terrorists who killed 165 people, our people, including some Americans. So you can see the aggressiveness and who is bad about it, who is the evil.
Sir, if the story is fiction,
Yeah,
then how you can justify this subject?
right, sir. So actually we wanted to go to 𝗙𝗏𝗏 Valley and shoot around that area. It was almost impossible. They did not allow us, no permission, nothing. Then we came to the thought of, well, the story, we can tell the story, what is going on, based on the incident, taking like me or you know, feel about our soldiers, feel about our motherland, create a story, inspired by those incidents, what could happen to you and us if we get to the border. That's how the story came out. The story is indirectly tells the intentions of China, but not every example we're going to portray. We don't talk about what China said about G20 summit, what did they say about it, then it will become a documentary. That's what
We have seen many films, many movies, and Mr. Himanshu is explaining country of China flag not permitted censorship. So why this is? Because when we see the movie about Pakistan, then flag is showing broadly, and your movie flag of China, why this is not showing?
What is the objective?
Yeah.
I think they have their own worries. I'm not sure it is within the censor department or someone else told them to do that. But they are scared of change. That's what it is. That's one number. But what I think they are scared of China, the reasons we do not know. Number two reasons, we do not know. The establishment is pro-China. We do not know that. It has to be both or either.
You mean to say our censor board is scaring from the China?
We do not know. Because we know some of the communist party in our own country, they support China, we know that, right? Communist parties in our country, they support China. So why not some of these excuses?
Congress party is also blaming to the BJP. They are.
Well, that's politics, pointing fingers. What did they do for the last 70 years? Congress party. Understand one more thing, two important things right now. In the movie, we have a scene where our protagonist, the main lead characters, were put into situation surrounded by so many of the Chinese and Pakistani group of villains. Now the six had to encounter about 160. How do they do that? Where does the power come from? To highlight that energies, we use the 𝗖𝗵𝗲𝗯 song. That means evil will be destroyed by the good. So 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗯 means most of the time it is Shiva is the destroyer. Shiva is the destroyer of the evil in the cosmos, right? So in that movie, they said it is religious, it may have the religious sentiment of other people. They cannot use it. So they are not allowing us to use even a 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗯 in our Bharat, land of Bharat. What does 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗯 says? It's our Hindu spirit, right? We talked to them on multiple occasions. At one point they appeared as if they were agreeing, and finally when they gave a certificate, they said, no, you have to take that. They will allow Allahu Akbar in many movies you have seen, as there was a clash going on, a fight going on, but you cannot use a 𝗙𝗵𝗲𝗯 in Bharat. Another important thing, in the last scene of the movie, our Prime Minister Modi ji, he will address the 20 families of those soldiers who were murdered by China. What does he say in that scene? I will repeat that for you. The Prime Minister Modi ji says, your story will be heard in every household in Bharat, in India. That means every household will hear your sacrifice story. That's very inspirational. And then he says, Bharat Mata Ki Jai. They said he is a politician, he cannot show that. My argument was, Modi ji at this point is not a politician, he is a Prime Minister of our country. He is head of the country. So we are showing our Prime Minister in our movie, which is related to what happened there. Because we took that exact bite from the archives. 𝗂𝗽𝗓 Mata, their families, we have that in the movie. So if not a PM, if not a Prime Minister, who will address them? Who is supposed to talk to them? What kind of foolishness is this? What kind of disrespect they are showing into Prime Minister of our country? And then I asked them, in many movies, right, as you recall, if you see a police station, one of many movies you see, you watch them, you recollect, you will see a lot of time Gandhi, Indira Gandhi pictures on the walls. Do you remember?
Yeah.
But they were politicians before they died. Most of their lifetime, they belonged to Congress. Just recollect those memories. So they were actually from a party. So when you show them every day, every movie, Gandhi, and then Indira Gandhi pictures, in almost every movie, wherever there is a police station or governmental office, why not Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister? Why is that? So I do not know, maybe in the administrative branches, there is some anti-BJP or anti-Modi objective or goal is going on, I do not know. Because that will only elevate the tone of the movie there, the tone of the story, the positivity is so wonderfully displayed. That means there is nothing political there in that scene. But I do not know, they don't want to show Modi ji, maybe he can get more name or more appreciation from people, I do not know. He can judge that.